What is up, people? This is the Road to 100k a month, episode 3. And this week was quite an eventful week. It started off with such a good positive momentum. And I think in general, I keep praying, thinking in my mind that this week wasn't a good week. On paper, profitably, it wasn't a good week. But the lessons I took out of it, I will never commit these fucking mistakes ever again. And I'm fucking raging with myself. I was furious. And me in this video, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. But to cut it short, bro, we had a good week up until fucking Friday, bro. And Friday, we learned a lot of valuable lessons, brutally. So that's what I'll say for that. But starting off with Monday, actually no, we're gonna make a tradition going into every episode. I'm just gonna show you the P&L. So right now, I have it pulled up on my phone, but I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see. That's what we're looking like. So 2 weeks into trading, so the 13th and the 14th, those are pretty much the 2 green days where we won like 1,500. That's where we passed our 2 evals, 5 lucid 50 accounts, and we passed them in 2 days. And then that's pretty much our week. So as far as this week, we started off the first 3 days in profit. The first day itself should have been a no trade day, and the second I figured out that I didn't follow my rules. I didn't follow my strategy, I just took myself out of the trade. Funny enough, that would have hit full TP, but I'm staying disciplined to my rules, and I did, so I just cashed down. But we ended up having those profitable days. 23rd was a negative day, but again, losses are due. I followed my process. And then you can see on Friday, the biggest fucking L yet. And I was furious, bro, and I'm gonna explain everything. Now, going into Monday, a piece of wisdom that I learned from Trading in the Zone audiobook that I've been still listening to and trying to get through. And it was the following quote. So when you accept the risk, you won't perceive anything the market does as threatening. If nothing is threatening, there is nothing to fear. Embrace the risk and break the cycle. I realized going into this week, for some reason, maybe it was the pressure of I wanted to make progress on getting the payout. And now that I'm fully funded, I have that flexibility. That there are times where sometimes the setup presents itself, yet I still feel something in me the second I put myself in the trade, a tinge of fear. And what I learned from that, the way I took this out is when you accept the risk, you won't perceive anything the market does as threatening. Thereby, I think I mentioned it on episode 2, when you follow your process, when you follow your rule set, once the trade is set, you shouldn't be fearful. Let the fucking market does what it does, and let it ride. So I think that was a good quote to summarize that. Going into Tuesday, we had a prime entry, but we didn't execute it. But we still ended up hitting, I'm pretty sure, as I pulled up in the screenshot. In my notes, I put loss of focus and agency. I think I made this mistake on episode 1. And again, I made it again, but I have something in me where it's I don't like making a mistake twice. I have a rule within myself where it's cool to make a mistake once. It's not cool to make the same mistake twice. And I'm pretty sure this is one of those where it's twice. But I took this lesson and I realized I learned this on Tuesday, and I pretty much followed through for the rest of the week, which is good. But I waited for perfect confluences. I waited for the perfect entry. And something I've realized that when I'm trading, it's bro, sometimes the market won't give you perfect entries. And before you fucking know it, the move is gonna fucking happen. And you're gonna sit there watching it hit, and that's what ended up happening on Tuesday, bro. So I made sure I took that lesson and didn't make sure it didn't happen again. Another thing I did, and I learned from Tuesday, was that a reminder that anything is possible. Somebody I look up to specifically in the space, let me put the camera there, boom, fix that there, boom, is TGR. And I saw something about TGR at this point on Tuesday, which I think was the 21st. He was up 300k for the month. And the reason I'm sharing this is sometimes as traders, I still think it's 1000%. This is the whole road to 100k a month. We're fucking getting there. But there's people doing even more than that, bro. Like I said, he was up 300k by the 21st. Now put that into retrospect. Motherfuckers are out here saying, yo, let me get 10k a month. Bro, raise higher, bro. And I think that was a good reminder for me, and that kept me going. That put me in good spirits, because I'm bro, I'm sitting here thinking the road to 100k a month is fucking something. Motherfuckers out here doing triple that. Halfway through the month. God damn, bro. Going into Wednesday, had full confidence going into the trade. Big difference in emotions. This is actually a very interesting one. And it's so funny that this happened on Wednesday and then we fucked up on Friday, bro. But I noticed on Wednesday was the first day where we followed our process and I was purely detached of what would have happened. As I put here, big difference in emotion. For the first time, I was like whistling. That's what I put in my fucking notes. But whistling, whereas first week was pure silence, acting detached. Yes, I remember in week one thing I used to do, and I kind of felt myself like, I think I did it in week 2 as well, but as I put here, I was whistling. One thing I would do is I would act my mind into being detached. So I would sit there like this on purpose, acting as if I'm detached, and the whole room would be silence. I would have nothing, and I'd be in the trade, and I'd just be sitting there for however long until the trade hits, acting detached. But on Wednesday was the first time pure silence. Well, not silence, but like I was whistling. Meaning I was like, there was no difference in emotion. I didn't feel emotionally like, I was like, fuck it, whatever happens, happens. So that was a good observation. That's good that we're already making that process in terms of being detached. I think that's a big one to focus on as a trader. Just being detached, not caring if it's hitting TP or stop loss. Next, going into Thursday. Thursday, I continued reading. So I think I mentioned it in the past episode, but I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And Thursday was a little bit of a deep day, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. A thing I learned on Thursday from Marcus was or was it on Friday? But Marcus, one thing Marcus Aurelius does in his books, or at least the first chapter or second chapter that I was reading, bro just keeps talking about death, bro. And I think it was a good reminder where it was like, bro, eventually he like phrases like days are wasting, your time will eventually die, like all these different topics. And the reason I took personal to that is like it was another reminder as well that there is a finite amount of time on this earth for everybody, for myself, for everybody watching this video. Just keep fucking going at it, bro. Like, if you have dreams, if you have aspirations, if you have goals and targets that you want to achieve, go for it, bro. Because as I was reading that book, and it kept hitting and hitting and hitting, time's fucking running out, bro. Like, we're aging, bro. Like, I'm 19, bro. It feels like the other fucking day I was like a fucking teenager in high school, bro. And I'm just fucking growing up and shit. And I'm sure everybody else probably feels that way. If you don't, reminder. Time's ticking, bro. And eventually death will arise tall. But I think here as well, I had a quote on detachment. One thing Marcus said, I continue free from pain, neither crushed by the present nor fearing the future. Do not then consider life thing of any value. Like, see, this is what I mean, bro. Bro thinks like, don't put any value on life. Just don't consider it. Live in the present. Be free from pain, neither crushed by the present nor fearing the future. Some wise ass shit, bro. But I think that book in general, and I think any book, any like stoic book, I think helps traders. Because it gives you that stoic mindset where it's like when you're in trades, you don't care, bro. It's like you're reading books that go so deep. And that's what I've learned from Marcus Aurelius. On Thursday, another thing I did that I'm implementing in my trading process is implementing break-even trades and adding TP1 and TP2. So far in my whole journey, I've just been literally stop loss, take TP1, it either hits full stop, or if it either hits my full stop loss or it hits my full take profit. So I started on Thursday to implement break-even and TP1 and TP2. The way I'm currently doing it is I will only put break-even if TP1 get hit. So then it's like TP2 has still rides, but now it's at break-even. And that's the only rule. I'm never going to put break-even when I'm in a high trend, because I was actually testing it. I was looking at my logs. I'm sure it probably happens to a lot of people, but I, specifically for my trades a lot of the time, they will sometimes rebalance into my entry and then ride up. So if I was to put break-even, then I would have lost the opportunity. So that's what I'm doing for my strategy. And now Friday, bro. I think this is just the whole point of this fucking vlog, bro. Friday crushed me, bro. And I'll explain a lot of the lessons I took out of it. Starting with the first lesson, brutal fucking lesson. I, for the first time, took 2 trades in one day. Which for my strategy and for myself, I know it's not abnormal, but for me it is. I've always just stuck to 1 trade a day, either learn it or miss it. But my psychology, bro, on Friday was fucked, bro. I don't know what the fuck happened, bro, but my psychology went out the fucking window. Starting with this, I did an identical trade. So, for those that know, on Friday was, I think it ended super bullish. But I had that bias going into Friday, thinking like, bro, Friday's gonna be a bullish fucking week, bullish end of the week, bullish day. But my stupid ass, bro, was trying to fucking catch the reversal, bro. Was trying to catch the retrace and the reversal, and then I knew it was gonna go back up. But I wanted to catch it, and I don't know why, bro. We had a new day opening gap at the bottom that I thought we would have filled. My confluences matched up, but for some reason, like looking back at it, it should not have been made, bro. And in the end, I did. And the worst thing that hits me, bro, is that stop loss hit, and I did the identical trade. I was like, fuck it, stop loss got hit, price retrace back into my entry. I said, fuck it, let's do it again. And for context, what ended up happening on Friday, as I pulled up on the screenshot, 566 lost on the account specific for the day, times 5. That shit was like a fucking, I mean, let's do the math, bro. 566 times 5. Yeah, that's a 2.8 fucking K day. Lost. And that was fucking brutal, bro. Along with that, a mindset that I'm going to be approaching going into next week and the following weeks is I found out that I still have a scarcity mindset in trading. And the way I'll explain this, and I'm sure a lot of other traders might relate to this, but I think I have a scarcity mindset because I feel like in my brain, as traders, we only have 5 opportunities per week. And as I put here in my notes, internally, I feel like the need to make the most out of it. Right? I look at my brain, and again, it's from my sales background where it's like I subconsciously put in my mind that success comes from doing volume. It comes from putting reps. And I still need to, and I think it might take some time, but going into next week, Friday was such a fucking hit to me, bro. And it made me so furious that I genuinely think I would snap out of it ASAP. But the scarcity mindset of the 5 opportunities, meaning Monday to Friday, subconsciously I feel like, fuck, we only have 5 days. We only have a certain amount of time. I need to make the most out of it. And whether it's me and my mindset thinking like, well, I need to scale to more accounts quicker. I'm recording this journey to 100K a month. All these added pressures, I don't give a fuck. But I need to snap out of it ASAP, bro. Because I think it's fucking me up, bro. And I think part of it goes into the first thing, the victim of the identical trade. Maybe because I had that scarcity mindset of like, oh, we only have 5 opportunities. It made me like, fuck, bro, I can't end the day off at a loss. I can't end the day off with a red. And I think that was so dangerous and so bad of me. And that's, again, I learned it there and then. And once again, needing to reframe my mindset into a sniper and not an SMG. I think I mentioned this on episode 2, but as a trader, you're a sniper, bro. You don't make money by being on the charts 24/7, making more than 3 trades, 5 trades every single day, unless you're that type of trader. You make your money by making calculated decisions, turning off the charts when you're in the green, on to the next day. And over a long time span, you're going to be fucking profitable as fuck. And you don't make money by most industries out there, like sales, where it's a numbers game. More calls, more dials, more conversations, and all of these different things. Third lesson I learned on Friday, sized way too much. I sized way too much, bro. I put like, I think I'm trading micros based off my strategies. I put 25 MES, and then a second trade, I put another 25. I was like, bro, like sizing way too much for my risk management, and just let emotions completely. I genuinely do not know what, like I was furious, bro, and I'll continue going through these lessons. The fourth lesson: high time frame holds more power. So funny enough, on the low time frame, my confluence is based off my strategies. The new day opening gap, the confluences show that okay, we're likely maybe gonna get a fill here. But on the high time frame, bro, we were fucking bullish, bro. And I literally clicked on it and I was like, okay, bro. And I said to myself internally, high time frame bullish, low time frame bearish. And I still went bearish, bro. And then like knowing that I already know high time frame holds more power. So another reminder on there. And then we ended off the day being super critical. And I think the way I took out of it, genuinely it was the worst day ever for the reason that I'm a type of person that I demand so much of myself. I don't know if it was the way that I was raised. I don't know if it's the personality, the experiences that I've had that I've cultivated myself into being the position I'm here today. But I just demand so much of myself, and to see me make mistakes that not even about the money, bro. Like I'm being real, bro. Like the 2.8k doesn't even hurt that much. What hurts is the fucking mistakes, bro. Mistakes of making the identical trade, having the scarcity mindset, sizing way too much, knowing that the high time frame held more power, knowing that all of these the key components were blown out the fucking window. That is what hurts me the most. Is the losing aspect of it. Like I said, I think Ronde Howell, I mentioned it, which in the other episode I made fun of. Like I didn't make fun of him, but I joked his name. The guy's a fucking G, bro. I listened to more of him, and a reminder, he said it's like the best traders are the best losers. But I couldn't accept it on Friday, and I need to get, and this was a good reminder for me, because I need to get fucking used to it, bro. I need to get used to this shit, and yeah, bro, I demanded so much of myself. I was critical, and I'm not even gonna kid you, bro. That Friday ended for me like pretty early. I think it was like 12 p.m. Eastern, and I feel like I had my dinner, bro, for like 4 or 5 hours, pure silence. I was literally just sitting there, staring at the fucking ground in pure silence, in disgust, thinking, what the fuck, bro? And Saturday was similar, bro. Saturday was like, bro, fuck, bro. And Sunday today as well, bro. And going into the next week, I feel more optimistic, and I felt like it was good that I've went through such a mistake like this. And yeah, bro, it sucks ass, bro. But I think it's great. I'm grateful that I've went through it. But I was fucking furious, bro. I was genuinely incredibly furious with myself, disappointed, very low frequency, which again, I think I need to get used to, bro. At the end of the day, if I'm on the road to 100k a month, I need to constantly remind myself, like Ronde Howell said, the best traders are the best losers. And I think part of that, another wisdom I'll say, and something that I've learned, is I think part of it as well was associating the dollar amount as success. Was associating the fact that I think I'm constantly thinking, I think on Friday specifically, this could have been one of the points as I reflect on this. But on Friday, and I've never done this on any other trading session, but I looked at what my P&L was and how much progress we would have made in terms of like if we won on all of our 5 accounts, how much would we be eligible for a payout? And I saw green in the green accounts, and I think I cared too much. And I think I need to disregard that completely, bro. I need to get used to it. The way I need to seek my dopamine is through the wins and not even losses, bro, lessons. That's another way I need to reframe this shit. It's not a win or a fucking loss. It's a win or a lesson. And I think I need to reframe my mindset like that and disregard the dollar amount and focus on the fucking wins. And I think as much as it's been it feels like it's been a horrible week, just based off that Friday session, I think in my journey, and I'll probably look back at this episode as a very pivotal point in my trading journey, and I'm grateful that I've done it in week 2, that I just felt so disgusted and so disappointed in myself to a point where I never want to make that shit again. Like, I'll be happy to make mistakes based off following my strategy, but I will not be happy and I won't tolerate retarded mistakes. That's what I fucking won't tolerate. Like, I genuinely could not tolerate it. To have such a lack of psychology discipline, to lack the awareness when I was opening onto the charts, to me that's just not acceptable, bro. And the way I'm looking at it, bro, I could sit here and I could be pissed off at myself, kind of like I was, especially after Friday, for like the hours that I was in silence, or I could take it on the chin, reflect on it, and just make sure that shit doesn't fucking happen again. And if it happens, out of good reason, out of following my strategy, out of everything following in line, and with a clear headspace. But going into market on Friday, it just wasn't it, bro. Wasn't fucking it. And I'm sure maybe every trader has probably had that point in their journey, whether it was a day or a week or a period. For me, I want to cut it out right now. I never want to feel that shit again. It's disappointing. It's honestly low-key embarrassing, bro, in my opinion. But I think that trade itself, I think it all stems from having a high standard, and I think it's a blessing and a curse. A curse in the point where it might seem as like too extreme, it might be too much. But I think a blessing in the way that, knowing myself, I probably won't make that mistake ever again. Of lacking such discipline, for lacking of such losses, like such all these psychology metrics, having the scarcity mindset, making the identical trade, sizing way too much, knowing that it was gonna go bullish but still going bearish, like all these different things. I think it's a blessing in that regard, where it's like, by having such a high standard, by demanding so much of myself, I won't let that shit slide again. And I think it's a good trait to have over the long run. But that's essentially the journey of week 2. Going into week 3, I feel good. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel good. I feel excited in the regards that I'm grateful that I've went through these lessons, and pretty much all of these lessons on one day. I mean, in general, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were all good weeks. It was just Friday that we just got fucking hit with, and we got so many lessons out of it. And me just sharing this, hopefully that avoids you making those mistakes. But yeah, bro, like that's how we're going to next week. But aside from that, to cut the negative shit out, let's end this off on a positive. I also wanted to mention, I'm grateful for everybody who's watching these. Like, I know when this challenge gets hit, when I can tick it off, that we finally hit the road to 100k a month, and I prove, whether it's screenshots with the payouts, whether it's whatever, and I document it all, these videos are going to get all rewatched. They're going to get a lot more views. They're going to get a lot more eyeballs. But right now, whoever's watching, whoever's supporting, I'm grateful for you. You're truly here early, where it all started. So I hope every time you guys are also taking lessons out of this. I don't want this to just be entertainment. I want this to be, a community where we're all striving for excellence. We're all striving to continue to push ourselves. We have our goals. We have our ambitions. And you guys can just learn off the journey that I go through. The good, the bad. So that shit doesn't happen to you. And that we can all get to the positions we want to get to ASAP. And whenever time permits, in a good fashion. So apart from that, keep crushing, keep doing your thing. And see you next week.